Okay, so to finish off the top and bottom edges, we're going to apply bias tape. And here's the bad news right now. You need actual bias tape, which I know is like gold. But the good news is you only need about 12 inches of it on the top and bottom, so a Pack and Go you can get you through quite a few masks. So if I had one message for the rest of you out making masks, please don't use bias tape to make the ties of your mask. You can use fabric cut on the grain. Bias tape is actually cut so that the threads are at a diagonal. They're going this way and this way, and that allows it to curve and bend more. For a tie in a mask, that needs strength and stability, not flexibility. So if I had one thing, please save the bias tape for people who really need to go around curves. I'm going to show you two ways of applying this. The first way is like the way that I was taught was technically correct and is a nicer finished look. And the second way is an easier cheat way. Both work fine on both sides. I'm just showing you two ways. So in your bias tape, if it is commercially made, you'll notice there is a longer and shorter side. To apply it in the technically correct way, we're going to open up along the shorter side and align that to the top edge of our fabric. And then we're going to sew right there in the fold. So keeping the unfolded edge along the top edge of the fabric, we're going to sew in the fold. The reason we need bias tape is bias tape does do this curving action as we sew through. Right, so we've gotten that first seam sewn, and this is where the longer and shorter side come into play because you fold this up and over, and it should cover your first seam. So if you've done a good job, you should be able to sew, we call this stitch in the ditch, which was always humorous as a child to me just because the connotation of ditch and other swear words, but I don't really know why it's funny anymore. But you're going to sew right along this edge, and because this overlaps the where you stitched before, you should be catching the edge of this on the back. What I just did there is I changed my needle position. When I'm stitching in a ditch or someplace I really want to make sure I hit the target, I like it to be lined up on my foot where I see that clear view. So that is the way that is more technically correct or aesthetically pleasing. But I'm going to show you the cheater way. So again, along this bottom, we're going to get a different piece of bias tape. The shorter side is still going to go to the front, the longer side is still going to go to the back. But we're just going to sew once instead of twice. So you're going to sandwich this in here. And then you're going to sew right along the folded edge, and because the longer edge is on the back side, you should be able to catch both as long as you're sewing along the edge on the front. I will also note that I am doing this without pinning. I've had lots of experience doing this, so it is okay if you want to pin your bias tape in place before sewing. And if this is your first time doing so, go right ahead. Like, No shame in that.
This is just pure anarchy.
This craziness here. Runs with scissors, sews without pins. Maybe a reason to pin, because yes, I'm fumbling right now to get my fabric in the Okay, and you can cut off, oh, I missed there, but if you caught it on the front, it will have caught on the back. I would go and re-sew that area right there. You can cut off any extra bias tape that you have, and that's 2 ways of applying bias tape. Okay, I'm ready to go for